Alex had always thought moving to the interstellar colony on Kepler 42b would be exciting, but he had not expected it to be this complicated. The colony was buzzing with activity. Humans, aliens, and hybrid species walked the streets, some with multiple arms, some with glowing skin, and some with features Alex couldn't even describe. He loved the diversity, but he also loved simple rules he now realized were about to be tested in ways he could not imagine. He stepped into the small apartment he had rented in the older sector of the colony. The building was old by interstellar standards, with floors that creaked and lights that flickered occasionally. Not that Alex cared. He needed a place to live, and the rent was affordable. Most importantly, it allowed him to live near the spaceport where he worked as a logistics coordinator. The first thing he noticed was the smell. It was strange, not bad, but unusual. A mix of something floral, something metallic, and something... Well, Alex decided not to think too hard about it. "I hope this place has a washing machine," he muttered, dragging his suitcase through the small living room. Then, from the bedroom, he heard it, a soft hum. A hum that sounded almost like someone was stretching. Curious, Alex opened the door and froze. Standing there was his new roommate, Ziri. Or rather, the thing that would be his roommate. Ziri had 4 arms, skin that shimmered faintly like liquid silver, and eyes that were so large and black they seemed to swallow the light. But what truly stopped Alex in his tracks was that Ziri was completely naked. "Hi," Ziri said cheerfully, waving all 4 arms. "I hope you don't mind. I wasn't sure if you'd be awake yet." Alex's jaw dropped. Hi?" He swallowed, trying to process what he was seeing. Are you wearing clothes?" Ziri tilted their head as if puzzled by the question. "Clothes? Oh, right, humans wear those, don't you?" "I keep forgetting," Alex blinked. "You forget?" "Of course," Ziri said, bouncing lightly on their feet. "It's not natural for my species. Clothes feel restrictive. Why would anyone want to cover themselves all the time?" Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. He had read the roommate agreement carefully. Ziri had mentioned their cultural differences, but Alex had assumed that, at least in a shared human-alien living space, Ziri would respect some basic social norms, like clothing. Apparently he was wrong. Welcome," Alex said finally, stepping back and gesturing toward the living room. "I guess you can get dressed or something." Ziri stared at him blankly. "Dressed? Oh, you mean wear clothes? Right, I can try." They turned and disappeared into their bedroom. A few moments later, Alex heard a series of thumps and rustling sounds, followed by a high-pitched giggle. When Ziri reappeared, Alex nearly fell over. Instead of clothing, Ziri had wrapped himself in what appeared to be a curtain from the apartment. It was pink with small embroidered stars. The curtain barely covered the essentials, but Ziri held it proudly. "Do I look acceptable?" Ziri asked, spinning slowly. Alex forced a laugh. Well, it's something," Ziri nodded seriously. "Good. I will wear this until I find something better." They bounced back into their room, leaving Alex both relieved and utterly confused. For the rest of the day, Alex tried to settle in. He unpacked his belongings, set up his workstation, and prepared dinner. All the while, he kept an ear open for Ziri's strange humming noises or rustling sounds from the bedroom. It was distracting, to say the least. Finally, at dinner, Ziri joined him, or tried to. Alex had set the table for 2, carefully placing utensils, plates, and glasses. Ziri leaned over the table, balancing on 2 arms and using the other 2 to inspect the food. "What's this?" Ziri asked, pointing at Alex's plate of pasta. "Dinner," Alex said simply. "You eat it." "Oh, humans put things on plates first?" Ziri exclaimed. "Interesting. Where I come from, we just dive in." Alex shook his head. "Please don't," Ziri giggled. Okay. They picked up a fork and mimicked Alex's motions, but the noodles slipped off constantly, ending up on the floor. Alex sighed. This was going to take longer than he had expected. Over the next few days, Alex quickly learned that Ziri's forgetfulness about clothing was only the beginning. They also seemed to have no sense of personal space by human standards. Sitting on the couch meant Ziri would drape an arm across him, sometimes even resting their shimmering body against his shoulder. In Ziri's culture, this was friendly. In Alex's, it was overwhelming. One afternoon, Alex returned from work to find Ziri standing in the kitchen with no clothing again. "Ziri," Alex shouted. "I thought we agreed. You wear clothes in shared spaces." Ziri looked genuinely confused. Oh, did I forget? I might have. I get distracted when cooking. Is that the problem? Alex groaned. Yes. It's a huge problem. Ziri tilted their head. Humans and rules are so complicated. You have so many things to remember. How do you manage? Alex sat down at the kitchen table, rubbing his temples. It's called discipline, focus, and apparently a lot of patience. Patience? Ziri repeated, curiosity sparkling in their enormous eyes. Interesting. I will remember that word. Despite the chaos, Alex began to notice something remarkable. Ziri was genuinely kind, endlessly curious, and eager to learn, even if learning meant forgetting again and again. They were smart, funny, and had a natural charm that made Alex want to help them even when he was frustrated. The real test came when Alex invited some human colleagues over for dinner. He warned Ziri beforehand. No nudity, no experiments, just normal human behavior. Ziri nodded solemnly, promising to obey. The doorbell rang and Alex opened the door. Hey guys, come in. Everything's fine, he said nervously. His colleagues stepped inside and for a moment all seemed well. Then Ziri popped out of the kitchen, wearing nothing but a towel wrapped like a superhero cape. Alex's eyes widened. His colleagues froze. Ziri waved cheerfully. Hi, I'm Ziri. Nice to meet you. Alex buried his face in his hands. I'm so sorry. One of his colleagues chuckled nervously. Interesting roommate, Alex, Ziri beamed. Yes, I like humans. You are so funny. And you eat strange things. Can I try your breadsticks? Despite the embarrassment, Alex realized something. Ziri didn't intend to offend anyone. Their honesty, openness, and complete lack of social pretense made people pause. Some even laughed. Some even warmed up. In a strange, indirect way, Ziri was charming the humans, even while breaking every social rule imaginable. That night after his friends left, Alex collapsed on the couch. Ziri came over and sat beside him, still partially wrapped in their towel cape. Do you think they liked me? Ziri asked, genuinely curious. Alex sighed. I think they were surprised. That's all. Ziri tilted their head. Surprise is good. It shows humans are flexible. I like humans. Alex looked at Ziri, exhausted but oddly grateful. Somehow, despite the nudity, the chaos, and the cultural misunderstandings, Ziri's presence made life interesting. Maybe even fun. Yeah, well, welcome to the apartment, Ziri, Alex said finally. You're going to make my life complicated, but I guess I'm ready for it. Ziri smiled, their eyes glinting in the dim light. I promised to try my best. Close, maybe tomorrow? Alex groaned, but he couldn't help smiling. Somehow he knew this was the start of a very strange, very human alien friendship, and for the first time he felt excited to see what would happen next. Word count. 1220. The morning light poured into the apartment, bouncing off the silver walls and landing on Alex as he rubbed his eyes. Today was going to be another interesting day, he could feel it. He had barely finished his breakfast when Ziri bounced into the kitchen. Good morning, Ziri chirped. Did you sleep well? Alex squinted. Ziri's towel cape from last night had been replaced with nothing. Again, Ziri. Clothes, we talked about this. Alex groaned, slamming his hand on the table. At least put something on while I'm around. Ziri tilted their head, considering this. Oh, right, clothes. They paused. What should I wear? Humans have so many layers. Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. Just a shirt and pants. That's all. Simple. Easy. Nothing fancy. Ziri nodded seriously, then ran to their bedroom. Alex could hear the rustle of fabric and the occasional thump as Ziri experimented with the small pile of clothes they had bought days ago. When Ziri reappeared, Alex had to blink twice. Instead of a simple outfit, Ziri was wearing a bright yellow shirt that was 3 sizes too big, hanging down past their knees. The pants were, well, one leg fit and the other had somehow been tucked into the sleeve of the shirt. Alex stared. Do I look human enough? Ziri asked proudly, spinning in place. Alex stared for a long moment before saying, You look creative, Ziri beamed. Good. Creativity is important. Humans should try it more. Alex groaned. It's called fashion, not creativity. But let's move on before we're late. Their first challenge of the day was leaving the apartment. The streets of Kepler 42b were busy, full of humans, aliens, and hybrids moving between the markets, the spaceport, and their homes. People looked at Ziri curiously. Some stared, some whispered, and a few even laughed. Why do humans wear these strange fabrics over their bodies all the time? Ziri asked as they walked beside Alex. Alex tried to explain. It's for modesty, hygiene, and sometimes social norms. People get upset if you ignore it. Upset? Ziri repeated. That seems extreme. On my planet, we wear clothes only during ceremonies or cold weather. Otherwise, we are free. Alex bit back a laugh. Freedom is great. Until someone gets offy. The next morning, Alex woke up to a very unusual alarm. A soft chime followed by a holographic reminder blinking on his wrist device. Today was important. A delegation of alien diplomats was visiting the colony, and the spaceport office where Alex worked had been tasked with hosting them. He groaned. Not because of the work itself, but because of one unavoidable truth. Ziri was coming with him. Ziri, Alex called from the kitchen. We need to get ready for today. Big formal humans and aliens kind of day. Clothes, please wear clothes. Ziri bounced into the room, bright-eyed and cheerful. Of course. Clothes, right. Alex's stomach sank when he saw what Ziri had chosen. A shimmering, multicolored tunic with patterns that looked like dancing stars. One sleeve was far too long, dragging across the floor, while the other barely reached the elbow. Ziri's lower half was wrapped in a sheet of fabric Alex didn't recognize, tied in knots that seemed decorative rather than practical. Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. Ziri, we need formal. This is a diplomatic event. You can't. Ziri tilted their head. Formal? Oh. Like humans wear special outfits to show respect. I can do respect. This looks respectful, right? Alex groaned. It's colorful, at least. Maybe we can work with it. The ride to the spaceport was a spectacle. Ziri leaned out the transport vehicle, waving at every passerby with both arms and a leg. Humans stared. Aliens laughed. Some waved back. Alex clenched his jaw. Ziri, please, behave, he muttered. Behavior. Yes, I will try, Ziri said, clearly misunderstanding the subtle human meaning of behave. Once inside the spaceport, Alex guided Ziri to the reception area, which was buzzing with diplomats from dozens of species. This was where it got complicated. Ziri's tunic caught the light in dazzling patterns, reflecting across the polished floors. One of the visiting alien dignitaries, a tall being with translucent skin and multiple eyes, gasped. Who is that? The diplomat whispered to their assistant. Alex groaned. That is my roommate, Ziri, trust me. It's complicated. Ziri noticed the attention and grinned. Hello, I am Ziri. I am here to learn about humans. And look at your clothes, they are fascinating. Alex winced. Please, just stand still. Unfortunately, standing still was not Ziri's style. They twirled, spun, and occasionally tried to float slightly off the floor, clearly enjoying the visual chaos they were creating. The first diplomatic ceremony began with introductions. Alex stood stiffly beside Ziri, who was waving at everyone, pointing out outfits and occasionally attempting to mimic alien gestures, some of which were interpreted as offensive by other species. Alex had to intercept quickly, explaining politely, It's just a misunderstanding. Ziri is learning our customs. The head diplomat cleared their throat. We appreciate your hospitality, humans. And your unique assistance, they said, staring at Ziri, unsure whether to be polite or horrified. Ziri bowed awkwardly, knocking over a decorative vase in the process. Alex groaned again, rushing forward to stabilize it. It's fine, really. No harm done. Despite the chaos, something remarkable happened. Some of the visiting aliens began to laugh, quietly at first, then more openly. Ziri's honesty, energy, and lack of pretense were oddly refreshing. In a room full of stiff formality and carefully measured gestures, Ziri was chaotic, but genuine. Alex took a deep breath. He realized that humans had something special. They had the ability to adapt, to manage crises, to turn even the most embarrassing situations into something positive. Today, his patience and quick thinking would be tested like never before. The catering arrived. Ziri immediately became fascinated with the food displays, pointing at alien dishes and attempting to pick them up with their forearms. Alex guided them gently, explaining which foods were safe to touch and which were meant for formal serving only. Ziri listened but occasionally forgot, leading to a few near disasters with floating hors d'oeuvres. At one point, a diplomat leaned down and asked Alex quietly, Is this normal? Alex nodded, trying to smile. For my species. Yes, for Ziri. Also, yes, it's unique but manageable. By the afternoon, the situation reached a new level of chaos. A group of visiting dignitaries were walking through the spaceport lounge when Ziri suddenly remembered something. Oh, I forgot a ceremony ritual, Ziri exclaimed, spinning in place. Before Alex could stop them, Ziri leaped into the center of the room, performing a series of movements that looked like dance, martial arts, and interpretive motion all at once. The diplomats gasped. Some ducked. Some laughed. Alex rushed forward, trying to explain. It's a cultural demonstration, sort of. Ziri finished the routine with a triumphant bow. Do you like my respect display? There was a pause. Then the diplomats slowly began clapping. A few humans joined in. The awkwardness melted into laughter and applause. Somehow Ziri's complete misunderstanding had become a memorable highlight of the visit. Alex exhaled. Well, at least it worked out, he muttered. Ziri beamed at him. See, humans are brave. I helped. Fun and rules together. Alex shook his head, smiling despite himself. Yeah, fun and rules. Right. The day ended with small gifts being exchanged, handshakes, and polite farewells. Ziri had managed to charm almost everyone, even the dignitaries who had been suspicious at first. Alex couldn't help but notice how humans' ability to adapt, explain, and mediate had played a role too. Without him calmly managing Ziri's actions, the visit could have ended in disaster. As they returned home, Alex reflected on the day. Ziri had caused chaos, yet somehow improved the situation. Their naivety had revealed a simple truth. Honesty, enthusiasm, and courage could break barriers that diplomacy sometimes couldn't. Humans had the patience, understanding, and ingenuity to guide others while still letting them shine. Back at the apartment, Ziri flopped onto the couch, exhausted but happy. Do you think humans will like me more now? Alex smiled, though his head was throbbing from the day's events. Yeah, I think they will. You're unforgettable, that's for sure. Ziri tilted their head. Unforgettable? I like that word. Humans have so many words, so many rules. But I think I am learning, Alex chuckled. You're learning, slowly. But yes, you are learning. And maybe teaching too. Ziri's eyes sparkled. Teaching humans. That is fun. I like fun, Alex laughed. Despite the exhaustion, despite the chaos, despite the countless moments where he wanted to scream, he realized something. Humans weren't just patient, they were clever. They could turn mistakes into opportunities, misunderstandings into lessons, and chaos into something meaningful. Today had been a perfect example, and Ziri was a perfect test of that human quality. Alex looked at his alien roommate, who was now fiddling with a floating holo display, completely ignoring their mismatched, sparkling outfit. He couldn't help but shake his head and smile. Life with Ziri was unpredictable, messy, and exhausting, but it was also incredible. And deep down, Alex knew that as long as humans could stay calm, think clearly, and adapt, there was nothing, no alien, no unexpected chaos, no interstellar fashion emergency, that they couldn't handle. Tomorrow, Alex thought, would be another adventure, and somehow he was already looking forward to it. Alex knew this day would come. Ziri had insisted for weeks that they wanted to see where Alex worked. Every morning, Ziri would bounce around the apartment full of questions. What do you do at the spaceport, Alex? Do you lift ships? Do you fix engines? Do you guard treasures? No, Ziri, Alex would reply, laughing. It's not that exciting. I work in an office. Paperwork, schedules, meetings, the boring stuff, but Ziri was not convinced. I want to see boring stuff. Boring human stuff is still new to me. And so Alex finally gave in. Today he would bring his alien roommate to the spaceport office before leaving. Alex reminded them firmly. Please, Ziri, remember to wear clothes. Real clothes. We can't have another incident. Ziri looked thoughtful, then disappeared into their room. When they returned, Alex nearly fainted. Ziri had draped themselves in a bright red curtain, tied at the waist with a belt, and wore mismatched boots on their feet. Ta-da. I am dressed, Ziri announced proudly. Alex groaned. That's not what I meant. But fine, it covers you. Let's go. The trip to the spaceport was uneventful at first. People stared, of course, but Alex was used to that by now. Ziri, with their extra arms and shimmering skin, always drew attention. By the time they arrived at the office, Alex was already preparing explanations in his head. Inside, his co-workers froze. One human dropped a datapad. Another whispered loudly, "Is that an alien in a curtain?" Alex cleared his throat. "Everyone, this is Scifi, my roommate. They're very curious about human work." Scifi waved cheerfully with all four arms. "Hello, humans. I am Scifi. I like rules and fun and humans." The room went silent. Alex forced a smile. "Right, let's just get to work." At first, Scifi sat quietly in a chair watching Alex type on his console. But quiet never lasted long with Scifi. Soon they leaned over, poking the screen with one finger. "What is this? Little letters? Numbers? Is it code?" "It's data," Alex said patiently. "I'm organizing cargo schedules." "Please don't touch," Scifi nodded solemnly. "I will not touch." 5 minutes later, they touched again. This time, a row of schedules disappeared from the screen. Alex quickly restored the file, muttering under his breath. Co-workers began to whisper. Some looked amused, others annoyed. Alex could feel the tension rising. Then came the real disaster. During a staff meeting, The next morning, Alex woke to a soft buzz from his wrist device. He squinted at the display. Notifications were piling up, more than he had ever seen before. "What the?" he muttered, scrolling through dozens of messages, tags, and comments. It didn't take long for him to understand. Something he had feared and hoped wouldn't happen had indeed happened. Scifi's antics at the diplomatic event had gone viral. Videos of Scifi spinning in their mismatched tunic, interacting with alien dignitaries, and performing the unexpected respect dance were being shared across social media platforms throughout the colony and beyond. The captions ranged from "hilarious alien chaos" to "humans survive another alien roommate disaster." Alex groaned and rubbed his temples. "This is bad. Very bad." Scifi entered the room, humming happily, completely unaware of the storm brewing online. "Good morning, Alex. Did you sleep well?" Alex stared at them. "Scifi, we're famous." "Famous." Scifi tilted their head. "Oh, do humans enjoy fame? Is it like fun?" Alex sighed. "Yes, in a way. But sometimes it's stressful too." Scifi bounced excitedly. "Stressful. Fun. I like fun." Alex shook his head, chuckling despite himself. Fame, it seemed, had found them, through no effort of their own. The thought of explaining the chaos to neighbors, colleagues, and random alien viewers made him nervous. But he also realized something. Humans had a unique ability to adapt to any situation, and this was another test of that skill. By midday, messages started arriving at the apartment. Invitations for interviews, offers for appearances at cultural festivals, and even requests for Scifi to visit schools to teach interspecies understanding poured in. Alex was buried in paperwork, trying to respond politely, while Scifi bounced around, eager to accept everything. "Alex, look, they want me to teach aliens and humans together," Scifi exclaimed, pointing at a holographic notification. Alex groaned. "Scifi, slow down. We need to handle this carefully. Humans have patience, remember? We don't just say yes to everything." Scifi nodded thoughtfully. "Patience? Yes. I will learn patience. But also fun. Fun is important." Alex smiled. "Yes, fun is important too." The day's first interview arrived. A local news holo team appeared in the apartment, cameras rolling. Alex guided Scifi to the couch and whispered instructions. "Stay calm, answer questions politely, and try to wear clothes properly." Scifi nodded, adjusting their simple blue shirt and black pants from the previous day. "I am human enough." "Yes, you're human enough," Alex muttered, shaking his head. The interview started. Scifi answered questions with wide-eyed curiosity and blunt honesty. "Yes, humans are very interesting. They teach rules, they adapt, and they are patient. I like humans. They help aliens like me learn." The interviewer blinked, clearly stunned. Alex realized that humans' ability to manage situations, remain calm, and guide others without anger was shining through in Scifi's words. The chaos of yesterday had turned into a positive story about friendship, understanding, and human ingenuity. After the interview, Alex and Scifi sat together, exhausted but satisfied. "See?" Alex said. "Even when things go wrong, humans can make them work." Scifi tilted their head. "Work, yes. You humans are clever. I am learning a lot. Rules, fun, patience, friendship. I'm lucky to have a human roommate," Alex smiled. "And I'm lucky to have you, Scifi." You've taught me patience. And a lot about fun, too. Over the next few days, the fame continued to grow. People from all over the colony wanted to meet Ziri, to see the alien who forgot clothes yet somehow captured hearts. Alex handled each situation with calm efficiency, scheduling visits, explaining cultural differences, and making sure Ziri didn't overwhelm anyone. Through it all, Alex noticed something remarkable. Humans had an ability to guide, teach, and adapt without losing their composure. Even when Ziri made mistakes, spilled food, or forgot social norms, Alex's patience, creativity, and calmness kept things from turning into disasters. And the galaxy noticed. Humans weren't just surviving. They were thriving in chaos, showing intelligence, empathy, and flexibility that no alien species could ignore. One afternoon, a group of school children visited their apartment as part of an interspecies education program. Ziri led them through a series of games and exercises, showing how to work together despite differences. Alex observed quietly, helping only when necessary. A child asked, "Ziri, why do you like humans so much?" Ziri's eyes sparkled. "Humans? They teach, they guide, they are patient. And they make learning fun. That is why I like humans. And Alex? He is the best teacher." Alex felt a warmth he hadn't expected. It wasn't about fame or recognition. It was about how humans could inspire, guide, and adapt even in situations that seemed impossible. That was true, HFY. Humans weren't just clever or strong. They were capable of compassion, patience, and ingenuity that could touch others no matter how different. By evening, the apartment settled into a quiet rhythm. Ziri lounged on the couch, tired but happy, while Alex tidied up. "You know, Alex," Ziri said thoughtfully, "I think humans are very special. You are strong, but not just in your bodies. You are strong in your minds and hearts. You solve problems. You teach. You help others. That is powerful." Alex nodded. "Yes, we try. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we keep trying." Ziri smiled. "I like trying. Especially with humans," Alex laughed softly. "And I like learning from you, too." That night, as they prepared to sleep, Alex reflected on everything that had happened. Ziri's forgetfulness, the diplomatic chaos, the viral fame, it had all been unpredictable. But it had also shown him something important. Humans could face anything. Alien roommates, interstellar etiquette disasters, viral fame. They could handle it all with patience, intelligence, and creativity. That was real strength. That was HFY. Ziri curled up beside him, their skin shimmering softly in the light. "Tomorrow, we will learn more. Humans and aliens. Together." Alex smiled. "Yes, Ziri. Together." And as the apartment settled into quiet, Alex knew this was more than just surviving an alien roommate. It was about humans showing their best qualities, adaptability, patience, intelligence, and heart in every challenge. No matter what the galaxy threw at them, humans could handle it, teach others, and even make the universe a little brighter along the way. And somewhere deep inside, Alex realized this was only the beginning of their adventures. With Ziri around, life would never be boring, and humans would continue to shine, not with weapons or technology, but with their mind, heart, and unshakable spirit. The morning sun spilled through the apartment windows, painting the room in soft gold. Alex stretched, feeling tired but satisfied. After the chaos of the diplomatic visit, he hoped for a quieter day. Of course, with Ziri around, quiet was only a suggestion. Ziri bounced into the kitchen, humming a cheerful tune. "Good morning, Alex. Did you sleep well?" Alex groaned. "I slept okay. But remember, today please try to wear clothes the whole day." Ziri tilted their head thoughtfully. "Clothes, right. Today I will be human enough." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Human enough?" Ziri spun around and returned wearing a simple blue shirt and black pants. Nothing flashy, nothing mismatched. Alex blinked in surprise. "Wow, that actually works." Ziri looked pleased. "You see? Humans teach well. I learn quickly." Alex smiled. "Yeah, you're learning." The day started slowly. Ziri helped Alex clean the apartment, organize groceries, and even attempted to cook breakfast. They were clumsy, of course, spilling a bit of milk here, breaking an egg there, but Alex guided them with patience. Slowly, he realized that Ziri wasn't just chaotic. They were genuinely trying to understand human ways. After breakfast, Alex suggested a walk to the nearby park. "We need some fresh air," he said. It helps clear the mind. Ziri's eyes sparkled. Fresh air. I like air. On my planet, we also enjoy this. But not like humans. You inhale with purpose. Fascinating. Alex laughed. Purpose, sure. Let's just enjoy it, okay? As they walked, Scifi noticed a group of children playing with a ball. Without hesitation, Scifi joined in, using their extra arms to keep the ball in the air in ways no human could. The children laughed, delighted by Ziri's skills. Alex stood aside, smiling. Humans had a way of encouraging curiosity and friendship, and today it was shining through. One of the children's parents approached Alex cautiously.
Is this safe?
Alex chuckled. Yes. Scifi is a bit unusual, but they're harmless. Ziri looked at the adults, waving all four arms.
Hello, I am Ziri.
I like humans. I play with humans. The parent blinked. Well, okay then. It struck Alex how humans' ability to adapt, remain calm, and guide others with patience made a difference. They could manage chaos without fear. Even with Scifi, who was strange and unpredictable, humans could turn a potentially awkward situation into a moment of learning and connection. After the park, they returned to the apartment. Scifi flopped onto the couch, clearly exhausted. Alex, I am learning a lot today. Human are interesting. You follow rules, but you are flexible. I like that. Alex nodded. That's true. Humans have structure, but we can also adapt when needed. And sometimes, bending rules is fun too, just in small doses. Ziri tilted their head. Bending rules? Fun? I like these words. You teach well, Alex. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. For all the chaos Scifi caused, for all the moments he wanted to scream, there was something remarkable here. Humans were patient, clever, and capable of understanding creatures vastly different from themselves. And maybe the tear.